Hi there. So, my name is Terry, and today we will be talking about soulmates. It's another epiphany moment for me. I'm gonna sit back. Can you hear me? I hope you can, or this video is going to go to waste. Let me see. I wanted to talk about soulmates because I recently found out that, and it was like a duh, but when I was little growing up, I never thought I wanted to get married, okay? Never thought I wanted to get married. And I'll get into that like way later. And I always thought that I was gonna be single forever, and that's by choice. And I was going to have a lot of kids by adopting a lot of kids. So that means being single, having a buttload of kids, and adoption was my answer, which I still wanna adopt kids. And then I got into a relationship that made me change that thought process. Like, I realized that being in a relationship isn't that bad, and being with someone that supports you and helps you, I guess, like through things was very helpful instead of being alone and trying to get yourself through that, right? And I thought he was going to be my forever, and he wasn't. We are not together anymore. I am single. But it made me realize that marriage wasn't such a bad thing, you know? And then recently, here I go again, discovered Transformation Church, and I was watching the relationship goals series, and I found out that God doesn't have that one person for you, and it is your choice to decide on who you end up with. And that shook me. That blew my mind, because I'm such a hopeless romantic. I watch tons and tons of romantic movies where one moment happens and you meet the love of your life, and if y'all are separated, somehow y'all come back together, and it's just, you have that one person, right? God slapped me in the face with that one. He was like, that ain't it, Terry. Because what's funny is we are given a choice, right? And the biggest gift that God has given us is the choice to decide if we want to be a Christian, believing in Jesus Christ. That is, God's Son saved us, died on the cross, came back to life, all that jazz, or not. And that's okay. If people tell you otherwise, that it's not okay, close your ears, because we're not supposed to judge. He gave us a choice, and that's the greatest gift that he can give us. And I'm over here thinking that you only have one love of your life, and that one person is out there somewhere, and then that's that, right? Yeah, that ain't it. That's definitely not it. And the more I grew up, the more I matured and realized that even though I really thought my last relationship was the one, this is it, but I didn't realize how miserable we both were. We both loved each other, still do, but we just didn't work. And I genuinely think, and he's a great guy, whoever ends up with him is gonna be so lucky, and whoever ends up with me is gonna be so lucky. I mean, come on. But what I realized through the series of Transformation Church was that he didn't love God the way that I did, right? And if you love God and you progress and learn more about God and continuously grow your faith, grow your love for God, it's different, I guess. And even though he's a Christian, and that was a great moment. When I first met him, he wasn't, and we went to church on Easter when we were in a relationship, and he got saved. And it gave me chills, because when I first met him, when I first met him and went on our like first date kind of thing, I was just like, oh my goodness, I can't like him. He's not a Christian. Like, how do you do this, right? But I prayed every single day since our first date to the day he got saved. And that was, I want to say like a good couple of months, 3 or so months. Like, but I never was that person who, like told him he had to get saved. I never told him that he like needed to be saved to even be with me. I didn't want to pressure somebody in that way, but I did pray for him silently, you know. And we talked about conspiracy theories, and I'll have like certain conspiracy theories about my religion, and it'll be fun. And then one day, like, he was like, hey, do you mind taking me to church? And I'm like, no. What'd you say? Because that ain't me. That is so God working through me to him. Because when I say, like, I was not saying, hey, do you want to be saved? Do you want to hear my testimony? Do you want to hear all the great things God has done for me? Like, I didn't want to do that because I didn't want to overbear him, right? But I did pray that I hoped God somehow miraculously worked through me to get to him. In my actions, in our conversations, like anything, right? And just let me be the light for him. Like for God to work through me to him. And when he asked me to take him to church, I'm like, all right, that was cool. But you know what's also funny? I didn't know it was Easter. And then we went, and then we had like the service and everything. And what was wild was like through that whole process, like I was praying, I'm like, if this is the moment, like this is the moment. If it's not, like just continuously like work through me to get to him. And then we had the service. You know, when it's Easter, like most churches are like, if you are ready to give up your life and get it to be changed for the better, like open your heart up to God, allow Jesus to come in, forgive you your sins, and all this like jazz, right? Like John 3:16, everything. And then once the prayer was over, the pastor was just like, okay, anyone who recently just got saved, raise your hand. Or it was like, raise your hands. And of course, like, he didn't raise his hand, which was totally fine. And then the pastor was just like, let's take it one step further. Let's everyone pray, for the people who just got saved, and let's walk out. The people who just recently got saved, walk to the aisle and come to the front and like grab a tiny cross or like something up there. I don't remember exactly. And of course, like, he didn't go, and that was fine as well. I was just like, and I remember praying, I was like, God, it's okay if he didn't get saved today. I'm not mad. I'm not upset. I just hope that, you know, our love continues, and I somehow show him more of you gradually. And then, like, when worship came back on, you know, everyone went back to their seat, worship came back on, and I was like singing the worship song and whatnot, and like he tugged at my hand, and I was just like, yes. And then he was just like, oh, biscuits, I think I lied. No, it was like, raise your hand, nobody raise your hand. I mean, he didn't raise his hand. And then when it was like the aisle and whatnot, and like people were singing and people were walking in the middle of the aisle, so it wasn't just awkward for them to walk to the front. And then I remember during the worship and whatnot, because I know he didn't like raise his hand, nor did he go up there, which is fine. And then he tugged at my hand while I was singing the worship song, and he was like, should I go up there? And I'm like, my goodness, my heart, like everything made me wanted to cry, because I was like, this is the coolest thing like ever, you know. But I said, only if you are comfortable with it, and if you're not, that is okay as well. But I thought it was so cool, and I think that was another thing that made me think that I was gonna end up with this guy. But God had other plans, and that's okay. Like, I'm not mad. It was a season in my life that I definitely learned from, and I wish him all the best, and I wish myself the best, you know. But what I learned through that whole process, through quarantine even, was that God does not have that one person that he wants for you, right? He does want what's best for you, but that doesn't mean he chose one person and he's gonna be like, this is it for you, you know? Because it's like, if God gives us the choice to decide being a Christian or not, then he's gonna give us many, many different choices, many different paths that he will allow us to choose, and at the end, guide us along the way, right? So I could have ended up with him. Like, what I'm saying is, like, I could have ended up with him, but I realized the reason why we didn't work, even though there was so much love, our love wasn't very matched, right? And in the future, I'm pretty sure, no, I know, in the future, I know that the person I'm gonna end up with has to love God just as much as me, or even more than me, so he can lead me closer to God. And I want someone who goes to church every Sunday, and if we aren't physically at a building, we watch service on YouTube together or something like that, read the Bible together. It's just like God has to be at the center for the relationship to work in a healthy manner for me, right? This is my personal opinion, my own thoughts. I'm not forcing my own opinions on y'all, because opinions are opinions, right? They're not facts. But yeah, I really realized, because we tried to make it work so many times, and so many times it failed miserably, where I would be crying way too much. But hey, it did let me write a lot of poems and a lot of songs that are A1, but which will be for Wednesdays, right? Yeah, I really had the final straw when it was like, why can't you love me at like as much as I love you? Why can't you put me first? Why can't you let's be like selfless? I don't know. It was just a lot of things that I thought was simple, but like he didn't, right? And that's not on him. I can't put all that weight on him, right? Because if I don't know, I can't do that. So it's not his fault. Whoever, like I said, is gonna end up with him is gonna be such a lucky girl. Just ain't me. And I have like a sense of freedom finally being able to walk away from a relationship that you tried your hardest, like every single ounce of your body, you tried to make it work, but it just didn't. Maybe there's something that's telling you to just walk away. And walking away isn't easy. Like, if you even have a friendship or a relationship, and it's like something that you held on to and you cherished it so much, but it just doesn't work, and it brings you down, and it messes with your mental state, that ain't something that you should stay in and continuously try to work at it, because that energy that you're putting into a relationship might be better for something else, you know? Don't know what that is. Maybe it's your passion that you're just like putting it on the back burner, but it's like, don't do that. Put that energy to walk away from a relationship, a friendship that isn't building you up. Walk away from it so you can have that energy and put it into your passions, your studies, your anything, you know? And it took me a long time. So I'm not saying it's easy. It is not easy. But hey, we're creating this community here to help anyone who is struggling, who is alone, who is trying to get out of a relationship, who doesn't know how. Yeah. And I guess like when you realize that you needed to get out of that relationship, is if it's draining you, if it's making you doubt yourself. I'm a confident person. If you ever get to meet me, right, I am very confident, and that is something that I'm very proud of. Some people might say I'm cocky, but I'm just confident, and it's okay. Like, I feel like our society makes us feel like being confident in ourselves is not okay, because it's like your ego's too big or whatever. But it's like, it's loving myself. Like, I love myself, and I have flaws, and I love my flaws because it makes me learn to get better, you know? Like, what's one of my flaws? I get angry easily, but I try to keep balance by thinking of the other person's perspective. But yeah, like, I have a lot of things I have to work on, but I still love myself in the midst of it all, right? And I still have anxiety. I still have like a lot of issues I have to work on, but loving yourself, I'm 100% is the first thing that you should do to better your life, kind of a thing. But yeah, I don't even know what that train of thought was. It was more like blah, 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 blah. But yeah, when I dated him, I questioned myself a lot. It was crazy. It was like, before I got into that relationship, I was someone who was so confident, and I was just like, whoever makes me question myself and doubt myself, I was just, I'm out of here. I'm not about it. And then I got with him, and I think we tried out for 2 years, and that is a lot longer than I've ever focused on anything in my life, pretty much, because before him, all my relationships like ended in like 2 weeks, 2 months. That's about it. But him, it was like, he made me doubt myself. It was just, you know, the maturity level just wasn't there, and that's not his fault. Like, I know I'm more mature than a lot of people, I guess, like mentally wise, right? Not like, oh, I'm better than y'all or anything like that. It's just, I've been through a lot when I was younger and all this stuff, and what I see, I'm very observant, and I think that's my Virgo-ness. Yeah, but I'm just observant, and I was asking, see, here I go again. I'm gonna say I asked for too much, but no, it's like, whatever you want in a relationship, please don't ever let anybody think that you're asking for too much, because your feelings are valid. What you want is valid, and if that person doesn't meet your standards, be okay to walk away from it, because you shouldn't be in a relationship that makes you feel less than, that what you need is too much, and all that. It's what's the point? What's the point of adding another person when you struggle in yourself? By adding another person, that person should be helping you struggle less, right? I mean, I don't know. But yeah, the soulmate situation was, that epiphany moment was very shooketh, where I was like, wow, okay. So I don't know who that person is going to be, but I do have my standards, and my standards are high, and I'm okay with it. I have been told many times that I need to lower my standards or this and that, but hey, if you have a friend, let me be that friend. But I have a friend who tells, like, we talk to each other, and I think that's how we became like really good friends. Like, she's like one of my best friends, and we talk about how we are never going to lower our standards. Our standards are high for a reason, because we believe we are worth that, right? So believe that you are worth it, and you are enough, and whatever you want is valid. Yeah. And a lot of my romantic shows, a lot of my K-dramas, Chinese dramas, get me that thought process of wanting a really respectable, like, guy who does a lot of cute and romantic things, and that's okay. Like, I'm not asking him to fly. I'm not asking him to buy me anything that's like worth like a butt ton, or like buy me a plane ticket. I'm just saying, be cute, write me love letters. Like, it's not that hard, and it doesn't cost that much money. So yeah, I guess that's what I'm saying is, don't let anyone tell you that your standards are too high. Please wait for that person. Don't settle. Love doesn't settle. You don't need to settle. You are worth so much more than settling. Watch, I'm not gonna get married until I'm 40 years old, and I'm gonna be fine. Or I might not get married. I don't know. I don't know the process of my life or my future. But I'm good, and I'm very much at peace than before. The before was me struggling, me trying to figure out, why is this relationship not working, and what is wrong with me, and how can I improve? And at the end, it wasn't me and it wasn't him. It's just, we just didn't work because our values were very different. But yeah, that's it. And that's a sneak peek of my life and my love life. That's so weird. When I sat down in this chair with this outfit, I really was thinking about talking. I don't even know. I didn't even have anything planned. I don't think. It was more like, let's just talk about soulmates. And then I did. And then I babbled on about my relationship and my singleness right now, which I am loving. Anyone who is struggling in their single life, comment below. Let's create a community or a safe place for you to not feel alone during these times, because being single, I never found being single hard. Well, let's be honest here. Let's think. I enjoy being single because I'm also a weird person. I don't mind going to eat by myself. I don't mind going to places by myself because I enjoy being by myself. I learn more about myself during those times. But I have joined certain dating apps and they were never successful because of who I am. I am a hopeless romantic. I am someone who has high standards, and those apps just don't do it for me. But if it worked for you, that's incredible. And you're so lucky to find your significant other through that. It's a lot simpler than going and shopping or whatever and being like, hey, you're cute, but I'm too shy to talk to you. But the app makes you connect to people so much easier, so that's amazing. But yeah, and tried it, and then now it's like God's telling me, just be still in your singleness and focus on other aspects of your life that needs work. And that's what I'm doing, and I'm growing, as you would say. And I hope you grow with me, and I hope you took something out of this conversation. Yeah. But if you like what you've heard so far, please subscribe. Tune in for the following, oh, my battery. Tune in next time and subscribe. Click the bell, press the like button, and yes. But thank you for tuning in.